let's get started on how to paint your floors. If you're looking to take your floors from this to painted and something like this, follow along. Hey, my name is Becca. I bought this tiny house, which I was very excited about, but it was a little bit dark on the outside and the inside for me. Here's what the floors looked like. They were just a little bit dark, and I decided to give them a makeover.
Standing in the tiny house right now, the floors are clicked together flooring. The vinyl laminates are dark. Did not like them, wanted to lighten it up. I've done a bunch of stuff since then with the walls and all this. Typically you're supposed to do the floor after the last thing you're supposed to do, but you know, like why follow the normal pattern? I did a base coat, a stencil, and a watercolor. 3 different applications on them. I'm gonna show you how I did that, talk about the mistakes I made, and go over the bathroom floor that I did a couple years ago, which is on tile. Some of this information I could not find on any other YouTube videos or tutorials. So I will show you what I use. I hope that somebody watches this and says like, yes, I can do this. And then they try it and they are able to do it, because that is the goal. And let me know if you have questions below.
Things you're going to need for this project are a sander, some way to sand it, and some sandpaper, some bonding primer, a way to get the bonding primer on, so either a roller or a paintbrush, and stencils if you are wanting to make a pattern, and also a stencil brush, which is slightly different than a regular paintbrush. You'll also want to have some sort of top coat waterproofing. All right, getting started. Step 1 is sanding. I personally really don't like sanding. One thing I like about these bonding primers is that they do adhere to most things, and so you don't need to do as much prep work, which personally I don't like prep work. After sanding, you want to make sure you get all the dust up and any hairs or anything that might be left over. You really want the surface to be free and clear of any debris. After cleaning the floor up, you can use this bonding primer Stix or one of your choice to put directly onto the floor. I am cutting the sides in with a brush here. I've used this type of paint on several different projects. I've had clients use it on backsplashes. I've had people use it on floors, doors, you name it. It's pretty amazing. And I used it on my bathroom, one of my bathroom floors, and I'll show that at the end of the video and kind of how it's held up. Because I love saving time, I just went ahead and poured the primer right onto the floor and rolled it out from the floor right there. I put about 2 or 3 coats. I honestly can't remember because it's been a little while since I did it. You're probably supposed to sand in between each coat, just a very light sand. I did not do that. Here are the stencils that I used. They were a little bit bigger than the floor spaces, so I kind of put them together like this to try and figure out how I was going to make it work and tape them. Here's the floor looking all fresh and white and lightened up, and it makes me so happy. I put the tiles together, the stencil tiles, to figure out where I was going to lay them. I decided to put them along the lines of the floor that were visible so that I had markings already. If you don't have that on your floor, you're probably going to want to lay out a grid so that you can keep everything in line. I used a pencil and colored it in just to see how it would look, and also put it in between, and decided that the easiest thing would be to go along the lines that are already existing. Mixing time. This is the fun part if you like mixing colors. And that left-hand side is the Stix paint, and I am just using acrylic paint to mix in the colors I would like. This is a process I just did myself. I went to several hardware stores at different times and have asked them to put colors into the Stix, and I'm not looking for anything specific, just maybe a slightly darker, like a gray, and they won't do it because the computer doesn't have a formula. So anyway, I just kind of go for it. These are the only colors I had at my house. It turned out a little bit more blue than I wanted, but that's all right. Here is the stencil brush that I use. They have different sizes. And here's the very first go at it, and I put way too much paint on the first time. I figured that out when I lifted it up. So this is my very first time figuring it out. I don't do stencils. So I was like, let's just try this and see how it works. And it was pretty gloppy on that first one. As you can see, that pulled up. The colors were running together and getting underneath the stencil line. So it just wasn't as neat. But as I went along, I figured out some things to make it easier. One thing you definitely don't want to do is use too much paint. I learned that lesson early on. So you want to just take your paintbrush and just get any excess paint off the side here onto the stencil. You don't want to dab like this. That was not good either. Tried a couple different things because I don't really work with stencils. And I also found that just brushing it straight on was not a good technique either. It got underneath the stencil lines and blurred together. So I did more of a dab brush, like a dab brush kind of pattern, and used the paintbrush very lightly. So I was kind of just gently putting on the paint. One thing is you would be able to see the lines of the paint because if you're not using very much, you can still see underneath a little bit. So I was going for more of a distressed look on this floor, and so it worked out well for me, but you might want to do 2 coats if that was what you're going for, or just leave the stencil there and then paint on it again. So here I am, I'm just showing you more of that technique. And also this project is a lot of bending over on your knees. So there you go. What are we doing here? Oh, this is to show you how the stroke lines are. So you can see the stroke lines from the brush. That is going to come out, and you're going to be able to see that if you look really closely up at your floors. If you're the kind of person that spends a lot of time staring at floors, you would be able to see that. One thing you definitely want to do is wipe off your stencil every time in between because it does get underneath. All right, here's how we fix mistakes. I love fixing mistakes. We just take the white Stix and we go in between where anything ran together. And so I just took a little tiny brush and went through each one. Here is that very first stencil I did. And as you can see, it really ran together. It is not a very cohesive looking design. And so I just went through a couple times and painted it with white in between, which turned out well. I ended up going just kind of like all over the floor at different places. I could spend hours doing this. So if you are a perfectionist, I don't know if this would be the project for you. I'll just say that right now. I also promise you, if you look at this from above, you don't notice all those imperfections. When you're staring at it up close, you will see them. But when you're looking from above, you don't. I just wanted to show you, I had some visitors one day, got some bears that showed up, saw my broken pop-up tent, and they were like, yeah, we're out of here. Okay, bye. This was an exciting moment. I am halfway through, so I have it halfway completed, and I'm just looking down at it, admiring the hours spent bending over on this project. Once I was totally completed, I swept the floor several times and wiped it down. The final coat is a water-based coat. Here is my busted jar right there. Okay, so again, I just poured it directly onto the floor and used a foam roller. I think I did 2 coats of this in between. I did end up sanding just with a gentle sand, and because I had bent over so much, I ended up taking a Swiffer and taping on some sandpaper. And by this point, I'm just like moving so slow. I'm like, why have I been bending over for so many hours? I really hate sanding. That's my internal energy there. But then it was done and I was so excited. I think it looks really good. Obviously, if you look close up, you're going to see imperfections. You're going to see things that are kind of blobbing together. But overall, I was really impressed. And here's what it looks like several months later. I think it's been about 8 months. So it does have a slight coloring on the top. And just to show you that I did end up building a bunch of other things on top of it. And it held up really well during all the other construction projects I decided to do, which is why you do the floors last, not first. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. Moving right along to the bathroom floor. This is the bathroom floor I did. It is textured. I did not sand first. Been a couple years and it's held up pretty well, although it does end up getting scratches sometimes, and I would not recommend steam mopping it or using really hot water on it. It's just a solid color without a stencil, as you can see. And I also did not put any kind of waterproofing, so that's just 2 coats of Stix on top of tile. And moving right along to my final thoughts.
If I was going to do anything over, I would have spent more time mixing my colors and done a lighter gray. The contrast is a little bit much for me. If you have questions about the process, please let me know in the comments.